Hello, this is Michelle with PaperStampInk. Thanks for stopping by, where I'm going to share with you today part 2 of my series on the Pink and Main Crafty Courtyard kit from September. I made a total of 37 cards with this kit. This is part 2, so I'll put a link to part 1 in case you missed it. And if you haven't checked out the Pink and Main kits, I sure suggest doing so. This kit had some beautiful colors in it, and I just had so much fun with this full card designs on these as well. So this card I took 3 strips from some of the pattern papers that were in the kit, and I just alternated them, one with designs and one with a pattern, and just layered those up on my card base. And then this is actually a card panel, sorry, and you probably saw some writing on the back there. You know what? Use those scraps. I was using this piece of paper as a divider for my card system, and I changed that around and didn't need it anymore. So throw that in your scrap pile. Put it to use. Taking some of the coordinating ribbon, the polka dots, those are so fun and cheerful, and putting those around, wrapping those around the panel. When I'm using ribbons, I like to use a panel instead of adhering things straight to my card base. That way I can pop it up, but I can also just easily wrap that ribbon around the back versus trying to cut it to the exact dimensions. We're gonna go ahead and adhere this one straight down, and that was my second card. Showed you that really quick. I did speed this video up so that it's not quite so lengthy to watch me go through all these cards. But if you have any things that you want to see, you can always slow down the video feed on your side to catch those details. So this one, I again took a couple of strips, one of those that had the designs going across. They were like the little flower pots there, were very cute. So took that and had a little trouble getting that glued down the way I wanted it to go. So to that, overlap those slightly just to give me an even edge around there. And then that piece was just a tad longer. That's the other thing I like using panels. Generally, I did go straight on my card base for this one because I'm using some of that beautiful glitter tape, and I don't need to wrap that around like I do the ribbon. Then I cut out or stamped out some of these images. I have this one with the house that I just think is so adorable. I love the little patterns that are in these stamps, and they just stamp beautifully. All that detail comes out so easily. I adhered a little sentiment strip that was part of that pattern paper as well, and I mounted it on some of the green cardstock to make it pop off the background, and then we're just going to finish it off with sequins. So most of these cards I made 2 designs. They may vary slightly with the pattern paper because I was getting towards the end, but they are the same layouts. So this one is one of my larger strips that I still had left. I'm just going to adhere that down on the left hand side of my panel there, and we're going to put the blue cardstock that was included in the kit, and I was kind of trying to show you there is a textured side. I don't think you can see it so well in the video, but a lot of the papers that come in this kit have one side that's smooth and one side that's got a more textured pattern, so you can pick and choose which one you prefer to have as the top. So this one's a very simple card until you lose your sentiment strip and you have to go hunting for it. So I took a little break, found it, stamped that, or adhered that down to one of my scalloped ovals, and just a simple happy birthday. So I did pull sentiments from some of my stash because these are really cute stamp sets that come in the kit, but I find that some of the sentiments sometimes are a little bit more specific and maybe not exactly what I would need, like, from my home to yours. There's only so many times that I need that, but I need a lot of happy birthdays or thank yous. My other thing I love to do is just hellos and thinking of you. So I just adhered a few of those glitter enamel dots on there and finished that card off. This glimmer paper is just gorgeous that came in the kit. I love that deep bold blue that's part of it. So I did another one of the stamps that was in the kit, Always in My Heart. So that one's a great general one that you can really use for a lot of different situations. I'm going to put some of that green cardstock. I love it. It's what I would call as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. It's very close or almost exact to Granny Apple Green, which is one of my favorite greens. I like the bright, bold colors. So I took and used my rectangle dies to cut out a little frame And then I did use the inside of that frame on another card, and pattern paper that I love the nesting dies because you can just fit those pieces right in there, and you know you're going to get a perfect fit when you use those to cut them out versus trying to get that exact cut on your trimmer. And then there is a little bit of a stitched border around there. You can't see it so well in the video, but there's this very detailed stitching that you can see close up on that pattern paper. I've got these 3 little hearts that I did cut out from a die that's with one of my other stamp sets, and put those on and bringing in some of the oh my goodness, I'm blanking on what that's called. The accents, that's what that stuff's called. So I'm just using my take your pick tool to spread out that and make sure I don't have any air bubbles, and it's going to dry to this nice pretty hard enamel look. So this one we're bringing in some more of that great sparkly blue paper. The deep blue color is just so amazing to me. And I'm going to put a strip of my pattern paper down the side there, and then I'm going to come in with some of that green glitter tape that's part of the kit as well, and just put an accent down the side. Now, I always cut mine a little bit long. I know some people feel like that's maybe wasting tape, but I guess I'd rather waste a little bit of it by doing that than a lot of it by cutting my piece too short, which I have done on occasion. So live and learn, right? And that was the very end of the tape there, so I had a little bit more excess. Used up every little bit of that green glitter tape. Gorgeous. So we're just going to mat that. Again, make sure you're using the insides of those pieces that you cut out for matting from your sparkly paper. I got one of those ovals out of there for framing one of my sentiments, and another one of those houses, and a little strip from the cardstock that, or the pattern paper, sorry, that came with the kit. I'm going to throw some sequins on there, and we'll be done with this card. Now, the next set of cards, I lost my video footage, so I'm going to do a walkthrough of those cards, but you won't see me actually making them, but I still hope that you're going to get some great ideas from them and enjoy those cards. So we'll start off with this one using, again, some more of that glitter paper. Can you tell I'm slightly obsessed with it? And I punched a butterfly out of that matted strip there, put some that stencil down with green and that beautiful polka dot paper. I'm showing you that I just dipped my edges of my sentiment into my stamp pad just to make that pop off the background. So I thought this one was just adorable. I used the big oval there, so I brought in the floral images and leaves to kind of fill in some of that dead space on that, and I did this pretty little scalloped border that I think fits those patterns very well. And I used the Pink and Main scallop border dies. You get 4 dies in this set, and it's a great thing to have in your stash. If you don't have any border dies like that, I'd highly recommend it. I'll make sure to put that link down below. Finished off with some glitter enamel dots. Pop that panel up off of my card base, and we're done with that card. I was able to make 2 of those as well. This is just a very simple shaker card, but I laid the paper, once I punched those moths out, I laid that paper flat on my card base, and then I was able to stamp a background right through there, and it lined up so easily, and throws a little sentiment on there and some sequins, and we're done. So that was a very quick one, but just make sure when you're doing those, you only line your butterflies with the foam tape so you don't have sequins all over that whole back and waste those. Now the next 2 cards are using the actual cover of the paper pad. So don't be afraid to cut those apart. It had all these little samples of all the papers that were in there, little strips of them. And so I thought that was fun. And then I just used some banners from some of my strips that were left over, and a mini thanks down in the bottom. So this one's the other piece that was part of that pad. Again, showing just little samples of all of the papers in there. And I hole punched 3 little circles out of the blue paper and put some enamel dots on there just to create my own little embellishments. And again, another stamp right down in the corner there. And this last one is the actual card that comes in your kit. On the back, it tells you a little bit more about the kit and the colors that are in it. So I just trimmed it down slightly to fit my card base, put some ribbon and some enamel dots, and we're done with that. So I'll give you a quick walkthrough of all of the cards and showcase those. I hope you enjoyed this series. Make sure if you haven't already done so, you subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Share with me what your favorite card was from this series, and I'd love to hear what kits you guys enjoy out there. I'm always looking for new great ideas. Until we meet again, make sure you grab your paper, stamp, and ink and do something creative.